seconds again.
Hi, I'm Tushar and I'll walk you through our application, which is open source biometric platform. So now what is OSBP? Open source biometric platform, or OSBP, is a desktop based application that is used by researchers to visualize different biometric signals and another parameter called eye tracking. So we are taking care of four biometric parameters, which is electrocardiography, EMG, which is electromyography, GSR, which is galvanic skin response, and fourth parameter is EEG, which is electroencephalography. Now this application will basically help researchers to visualize different biometric signals along with eye tracking through the medium of videos. Now next, Ritika will take care of the next section.
Hi, this is Ritika and I'm here to explain why OSPP is important and how we came up with this idea. There are a lot of applications in the market which are really costly, so we wanted to come up with an open source tool which could be easily available to each and every person. And the second point would be that it is one of the application which is having a single screen having all the biometric signals integrated together along with eye tracking. There are a lot of applications and softwares which are available in the market, but there are like different tools for calculating different kind of biometric signals. But our application provides a single screen to analyze the application. And also we wanted to make an application which is user friendly because it's targeting the biometric researchers, which could help them in order to make research analysis in a better frame. We are also providing a slider at the bottom of the application which allows the user to go further or behind the history of the biometric values, which changes the graphs and as well as the eye tracking in that particular timestamp.
So now we are looking at the key requirements that were given by the sponsor. So one of the first key requirements that the sponsor gave us was to read the input from the files. So we're not going to be doing the live data that we get from sensors. So we have the pre-recorded data in the input files. So that should be read by the application, and the graph should be plotted accordingly. And the input files were comma separated, uh, contain comma separated values, and also the sponsor told us to include support for multiple signals. So we did that using several columns in the input files. And the next requirement was to plot a time series graph for biometric data. So we have the input file, uh, we read the data from the file, and then we plot a time series graph with the value on the x-axis and time on the y-axis. So we show the graph as progressive through time, and we consider the initial timestamp uh, when the application is started to be the initial point where the data is being read. So so we this is for the user video that from the camera. So we already have this recorded video. So we read the file and we display the video to the user. And the fourth requirement is plot data over video for eye tracking. And the next key requirement of the application, and probably the foremost important one, is to synchronize the graphs and the videos. So the graphs display the biometric data, and they have different time intervals between them. So we had to take a common time interval and synchronize them accordingly along with the video. And the final, last but not the least, a requirement was to include a slider for the time seeking feature. So it was basically to seek the video and the graphs forward and backward when the user required it to. So that was the final requirement. And moving on, so the future work of our application. So in this project, we've deployed, showing that uh, we could read pre-recorded data and video, give them as input to the files, uh, give them as input to the application. So the next future work would be reading them directly from sensors and camera. So that would be the future work, and also dynamically changing the signal points. Right now in the application, we cannot dynamically change the signal points of a particular biometric signal. So uh, the future work would be doing it more dynamically. So, and now my teammate Sid will take over for the demo.
Hello, this is Siddharth and I'll be talking about the different components of the GUI of our application. The top two panels are for the videos, whereas the eye tracking panel will also display the eye tracking data, and the other four panels are for the biometric data. We have 7 buttons on the right, which you can see are used for loading the respective data into their panels. We also have 2 buttons, start and stop. Once we start the application, the button will change into pause and resume. Below those 2 buttons, we can also see a message box which shows the success and failure of every action and also other related application messages. Uh, Beside the biometric data panels, you can see S1, S2, S3, S4, which are used for different signal points for data coming in from the biometric data reader. At the bottom of the application, you can also see a slider which can be used for time seeking. You can move the slider forward and backward based on your requirement. Now I'll be handing it off to Vikram.
Okay, so let's just load the data. So as you can see, I'm loading the biometric data for eye tracking. Then these 2 buttons named as eye tracking and user video will actually load the MP4 files that are the video files. And let's load the biometric data for 4 different biometric signals like EEG, ECG, EMG and GSR. So you can see in the message box we are getting messages like the files are selected for data. So now let's select the signals. So this signal will select the different values from the given file, and let's start the application. So as you can see, once the data is loaded, the application is started. You can see the different graphs on the different panel, and the user video on uh, top right panel, and the sample video is on left panel. Also you can see the black dot which is for the biometric data, sorry, tracking data. So now we have the slider at the bottom. You can pause and resume this. So when you pause, all the graphs are paused and all the videos are paused, even the eye tracking get paused, and you can resume this. So you can also move the sliders. So as you can see, when I move the slider forward, all the graphs are moving forward. Also the eye tracking and sample video is also moving forward. So let's see it one more time. See, I have moved from 3 minute to 5 minute, and the video is also moved. Also we can go back in time. So as I go back, all the graphs are moved back. So we came back to 3 minutes. So this is the overall demo for our application, that is open source biometric platform. uh, you can use stop button to stop the application. Thank you.